Hey everyone, it's Chris. Hope you're having a great summer and you're enjoying time with your family, all that kind of stuff. Hope it's been restful. I've enjoyed connecting with some of you over the last few weeks and that kind of thing, but hope you're doing well. As my email mentioned, hey, I want to share some really exciting news with you, and that is I want to tell you what our fall campaign is going to be all about. Now, in the past, if you've been doing this for a while, we've obviously done like these Rick Warren books, or last fall it was Life on Mission, which had some great ramifications and bore some great fruit for our congregation. Those usually had some reading to do, a few questions, and then you would watch a video together as a group. We're going to do something a little bit different this year. I'll explain what that is in just a second and why we're doing something a little bit different. But here, let me show you what we're going to be doing. Let me grab the book real quick. This fall, we are going to be reading this together. Yeah, the Bible, right? It's going to be awesome. Here's how this works. Every single week, there are 5 days of a reading plan where people each day are going to read 2 chapters a day. So 5 days a week. So if you miss a reading on a Thursday or a Friday, you got the weekend to catch up a little bit. But 2 chapters a day, and hopefully we'll have like 1,000+ people in our congregation all reading these same verses together at the same time and wrestling through many of these same things. So it'll take us through 8 books of the New Testament, including John, Acts, Romans, Philippians, James, 1 Peter, 1 John, and then even Revelation. We're going to study that together. Why are we doing that, and what's the goal of that? We're doing this because we want to create disciples who love Jesus and follow him, and not just converts. And not to say that those other books weren't also discipling people, but the Word itself and a lot of research has shown that if we can just get people in this book falling in love with it and falling in love with God, that they're going to be changed and transformed through the power of Jesus more than anything else that we can possibly do as a church. So that's why we're doing something a little bit different, to change it up. And here's the goal, is to develop mature disciples of Jesus who follow him for a lifetime as efficiently as possible. And again, we believe that happens through the Word of God. And also in a way that develops lasting habits, that people are able to self-feed rather than relying on us as the preachers every Sunday to hear from us and to get a word from God, that they would be able to open it up and understand it and apply it on their own. So that's why we're doing this. A couple other things to mention. We'll add some other resources, and we want to help out the congregation with this in any way that we can. So same thing for you as leaders. We're going to try to make this as easy as possible as you're facilitating these groups and these kinds of things. But for the whole congregation, we'll hopefully have some classes that fall in line with some of the topics in the books that we'll see, and just reading the Bible in general. We're going to be putting together these journals that give people a structure for how to spend time with the Lord, and they can take notes and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we'll be able to share some videos and some other resources online from places like the Bible Project. They're doing some awesome work that give people an overview of different books of the Bible and themes and that kind of thing. And some other things we've got up our sleeve that I'm really excited about. And again, we're doing this because basically you guys submitted these surveys that I asked you to submit. And I think as staff we kind of realized that this was happening too. But more than anything else that you said, 2-to-1 in that section that asked, what do our people most need? You said, Chris, people need to know how to read and understand the Bible on their own. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to equip people to do that because we truly believe that if we can get people in this book, it is powerful to change lives. And so we're going to go after that together and do that together. As far as growth groups, what that means for groups, the weekend messages on Sunday mornings are going to be based on this reading plan. So whoever's preaching will get up there and they're going to talk about maybe a story from the previous week's reading, or an overview of one of the books that we just read, or something like that. So when you go to your growth groups the following week, in part, you'll be doing kind of a sermon-based study like you're used to in the spring, kind of talking through what the preacher talked about on Sunday morning. But we also don't want to miss the opportunity, since we're all reading this together and we're coming together as our group, and hopefully people have spent time in the Word. We want to give you time, maybe at the beginning or however you guys want to structure this, just to ask some questions. How are you learning from the things that you've been reading this past week? What is God teaching you? What is He showing you? How does He want to change you? How is He changing you and transforming you? All of that kind of stuff. And then what are you going to do about it? How are you going to apply it to your life? And how can we help you and pray for you and all that kind of stuff? And maybe some weeks that'll end up taking most of the time and you don't even get to talking about the sermon. And that's okay. We just want to be communities of people who are digging into the Word together and keeping each other accountable to that and helping each other in those things. Let me see if I missed anything else that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The campaign will run from the week of September 17th is when groups will start meeting. We'll do signups before that. And it'll go through the weekend of November 26th will be the last weekend of the campaign. Then you'll follow and end with your growth group celebration parties as usual. So I think that's about it. We'll continue to communicate more information about this as the weeks go on and as we get closer. But I wanted you guys to be the first to know what we're doing. And I also wanted to solicit your feedback. If you've done a reading plan before, or especially if you've done this as a part of another church and the small groups went and dug into this kind of thing, I'd love your feedback. If there's any advice that you have, something that would make it easier for you as the leaders to lead our people through this. We want to do this as well as possible, but we're super excited about what God could do through this. And again, we want to make this easy on you and just get out of the way and see what God does through this campaign. So please send me feedback if you want to grab coffee and pick my brain about something with that, or give me some advice over coffee, or just pick up the phone or write me an email, and I'd love to hear from you that way as well. So that's it. You'll hear more. I'll be sending out very shortly more information on the Growth Group Leader Kickoff. That'll be a Friday night in early to mid-September, but I'll let you know more about that soon. So that's it. Get ready. We're going to be digging into this together. Excited to do that with you. Thanks for all that you do and just continuing to lead and to love people well, even over the summer. We'll see you guys soon.